So you want to be a real estate investor? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over an article in Business Insider called See How a 27-Year-Old Real Estate Investor Bought 3 homes, one for as little as 65 grand, and flipped them for a profit. And I'm going to show you exactly how this can be you and how you can make money in the real estate market as a wholesaler. And I'm also going to tell you that for all of you Zoomers, Gen Zers, and whatever else you guys are, millennials who can't buy a house, how you could use this same strategy to buy your own single family home property. All right, so getting to the article, this is Business Insider. This is actually from March of last year, but it doesn't matter because all the principles, I guarantee you, still apply. They applied last year, they applied 10 years ago, and they're going to apply 10 years from now, okay? So don't let it get in your mind that just because the real estate market sucks and everybody is selling their houses for super inflated prices on Zillow, that this is just isn't possible, okay? You can make money as a wholesaler exactly the way this guy did, or make money with this guy, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Okay, so this gentleman, he is in Austin, Texas. His name is John Crenshaw, and you can tell he's a real estate investor by his fancy suit, his giant watch, his nice sunglasses, and his Dodge Ram. That's just a joke, but you know, I've been on the inside for too long and I've seen too many flashy guys running around, but he looks good, and God bless him for actually doing some good in his community and providing quality single family homes for people that can actually afford them. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So this guy, and this is some examples of what he's done. This is a great article. Okay. If you're new to this, or if you're looking to get into it, I'll link the article in the description, but I could not give you a better explanation of exactly how this is done, what you're looking for, and what it can look like afterward, and how you can make a profit in between, whether you are actually physically flipping the property yourself or you're just flipping the contract, i.e. wholesaling, because he works with people there too. So right here it says John Crenshaw bought his first investment property in Killeen, Texas for $65,000. Okay, he was 25 years old at the time. You might be asking yourself, oh my gosh, where did he get the money for that? Who knows? He might have investors. He might have a house on his own and taken out a second mortgage on his own house. I mean, that's really putting some skin in the game. You know, that is a question that you need to answer, where you're going to get the money from. But if you're just flipping contracts, that's not a problem, okay? Because you can get a hold of this property and you can make money in between, all right? But he got 65 grand, bought this house, and it's a 3-bedroom, I think 1 bath, 1,300 square foot house for $65,000. And I'll tell you right now, I'm 45 years old, and 20 years ago, I bought my first house, and it wasn't much different than this. It was actually smaller than this, okay? It was 976 square feet, and I bought it for $50,000. This guy, and it wasn't in much better shape than this one either, I'm telling you. Like, it was bad. But this guy bought this one in 2021 for 65 grand. All right. These deals are out there, guys. You just got to go look for them. All right. And this is what it looked like on the inside, and then before, and this is what it looked like after. And I'm not lying to you. When I bought my first house, this is about what it looked like. It was about this outdated. It was about this run down, and it was full of junk. I won't get into those details just yet, but it's like, it was not good. And I lived there, and I lived in it. Yeah, so this is what it looked like on the inside. House is full of junk on top of junk. This isn't even that bad. When you guys get out there and you start doing this, you're going to see properties that people are living in, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, how are you doing this? Why would you even do this to yourself? But he cleaned it out, did a great job of renovating it, and it looks like a really nice property. So that's the first one he bought. And the lesson here is, if you're wondering, is that he bought this place for $65,000 in 2021. Not 2001, not 1981. All right. So let's all get the idea out of our head that, oh, I wish I was like my parents and my grandparents who they bought their first house and they traded 2 ducks for it. And, you know, grandpa worked at the grocery store and grandma stayed home and knitted all day. No. Okay. These deals are out there. So you're not going to be able to go buy the nicest, newest, fanciest house in the nicest, newest neighborhood through a bank that's charging you 8% interest. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to get creative, and you're going to have to buy a house off market like this one. Okay. And what he did, I guarantee you, is he went in there and they were in a distressed situation where they needed to get rid of the house. Okay. Either somebody died, and the house got left to somebody else, and they just wanted to make some money off of it. Okay. They wanted to get rid of it and get a decent price. I'm almost guaranteeing you that's what happened. Or whoever lived here, they got too old. They couldn't live here anymore and they had to move. And and you might be asking yourself, how do you know that? Like, how could you possibly know that? Well, let's scroll down right here. Do you see these things right here where my cursor is? Those are walkers. Okay. And what that tells me is that there were probably elderly people living here, and the trash and the garbage and the buildup. What that tells me too is that this is somebody who was living here who just was not taking care of themselves anymore. Okay. They call it failure to thrive. Things were piling up. They had junk, they had garbage, and they just didn't have the energy or the wherewithal to take care of the house anymore or themselves. So either the person died or they got moved into a nursing home or with a family, and they had equity in the house. Either they owned it outright or they were, pretty close to paying it off. And he went in and said, look, and think about the person that got dealt with this house, meaning that let's just say it's their grandma who lived here and she passed away, or she had to get moved into a nursing home. Okay. And now it's the daughter who's dealing with this. They might not have any money either. They might not have the time for this. They don't know what to do with this house. It's a mess. This is a burden. So this guy comes in and says, okay, and he makes a deal with him and says, look, I will give you $65,000 cash within 30 days, and I'll get this whole thing off your hands. And to someone who maybe doesn't have a ton of money or the know-how or the time, the money, the energy to renovate this place themselves, I mean, think about think about getting $65,000 in the next 30 days to get this house. You don't care about this house. They want it done. All right. That's a huge win for them. Okay. So 65 grand, he took it off of them. And I'm telling you, in my career, when I was doing real estate full time, I picked up a house that was a little worse shape than this, that was worth more than this one, for $50,000. It was the same kind of condition. Only there's two people living in it. I'll tell that story later too. It's in my book, but I'll go over that in further videos, but you can read about it in the book if you want to. I'll link that in the video as well. So this is another, so that's the first one. Okay. The next one that we talk about, or that he talks about, is that it was a family relocating from California to Texas. They purchased the renovated home for $195,000. He added that, and he walked away with $55,000 profit after renovation expenses and closing costs. So that's a pretty tidy little sum. Now, he had to put a lot of work into it. He had to renovate the whole thing and all the rest of it, but he walked away with a $55,000 payday. Now, that's the hard way to do it. If you're a good flipper, if you're a good wholesaler, if you're a good contract flipper, you can make $55,000 just flipping the contract. Okay. You can make probably $40,000, $30,000 just flipping the contract on this, if you know how to negotiate and if the margins are there. Okay. So, but the margins probably aren't there on a smaller property like this, but the bigger properties you find, and they're out there, you can make a much bigger margin when you just flip the contract to a actual house flipper like this guy. Okay. Or a renovator. So I'm sorry, that was the last property, same one. So yeah, people are moving all over the place. I talk about this a lot in my videos. So somebody came from California to Texas, which is happening all the time. People are making a mass exodus from these blue states. They just are. I don't know what your politics are. It doesn't really matter to me. But it just is what it is. People are moving into Texas from New York, from Washington, from Oregon, and especially from Colorado. I'm sorry, from California. Colorado's another one that's going deep blue and turning into a hellhole. So think about think about a couple from California, right, who want to move to Texas. All right. Like, California's gone insane. Everything's so expensive. Everything's dangerous. They just want to get out and have a nice home in a nice area that's relatively safe with decent schools. This is $195,000. Where are you finding a house for $195,000 anymore? And this one's on the market. And it looks great. I mean, look at the bathroom before and after. So those are the people that are going to snap up these homes as soon as they can get them. Okay. These deals are out there. So this is the second one. Crenshaw purchased this house in Harker Heights. I'm not sure where that is. By Killeen, Texas, for $188,000. So this is another great example of buying a higher ticket house, and then he sold it for $232,000. But it doesn't look like he did that many renovations on it. So looking at it, I mean, when you move into it, actually, I think he went above and beyond, because to me, this doesn't look bad. I would maybe just clean up the fireplace, maybe replace the ceiling, replace the flooring, but I wouldn't change too much about the inside. So he flipped it, went in, and looks like he did the floors, did the ceilings, did the fireplace. I mean, he did a bang up job. This place looks nice. So here is where this is key and important to wholesalers. All right. This is where you make your money. So Crenshaw said he purchased the house from an online wholesaler called New Western, a company that he believes prices their properties too high, giving flippers little room for profit. So this is you guys. If you're into wholesaling, if this is what you're here for, these are the guys that are coming out. All right. They're writing yellow letters to everybody. They're knocking on doors. They're sending door hangers. They're sending messages. They have commercials. They're on social media. We buy your house for cash. And then what they do is they get the house under contract, and then they look for actual house renovators to sell these contracts to. So, they'll have, say, 7, 8, 10 houses under contract, and now they're looking for someone to buy it. And that's where Crenshaw got this deal. He got it from contract flippers, from wholesalers just like you. Now, he bought the house a little bit high. It looks like a nice property. So, and again, this is kind of my point. And a point that I made in a previous video about how you can find houses that aren't that beat up. You don't have to find places that look like this. I mean, you're looking at people that have motivation to sell. They have equity in the house, and it's not that beat up. I mean, the house looks pretty nice. It just needs some landscaping. I mean, but he went above and beyond. And I think he might have gone a little too crazy because his margin isn't that high. I don't know how much money he put into it, but it looks like he made a fairly decent, he probably made a fairly decent profit, especially from the amount of renovation that he did. But he did a kitchen. He did all the floors. He did the walls. He did a nice job. But he did all the hard work, okay? He did all the actual physical labor hard work that you don't have to do. So all you have to do is go find someone who has a house that looks like it's in pretty good shape. And what you do is you go talk to them and find out what their issue is. They have to have equity in the house, meaning that they have to owe less on it than it's actually worth, and they have to have motivation to leave. So I don't know why they wanted to leave. I don't know how much equity they had, but the wholesaler went in there, and I'm assuming they sold it for $188,000. So they probably had to make that deal with them, or pretty close to it, or even possibly, they might have said, "Hey, we'll give you $150,000." They might have made $38,000 on this deal. You never know. You just never know. Okay, you have a motivated seller and they have equity. You just don't know. But this is what happens. Okay. This is real. And that's what I'm trying to express to you guys. This is real, and this can happen because a wholesaler went in, got the house under contract in this condition, which is really good, and then sold it to a flipper who then went crazy on it. So it's possible, guys. So he did a great job on that one. And he says he had better luck on this one. He said he bought this from another investor for $140,000. So let me tell you about how this works. Do you want to get into real estate investing? Do you want to start wholesaling, but you don't know where to start? You don't have any money, and you don't even have a contract. On Amazon, you can buy my book, We Buy Houses Cash, the inside story of a wholesale real estate investor buying homes with no money down. This is the book that I wrote that gives you the A to Z nuts and bolts about wholesale real estate investing, as well as stories from live negotiations that I did that were a success and a few of them that went horribly wrong, so you can learn the right way to do wholesale real estate. Available on Amazon. Are you short on money to fund your business? On this video and the link below, you can get to Fund and Grow, where they will give you the money to fund your business so you can actually get the leads that you need to start qualifying good sellers so you can get good deals in the front door and start making money and get your business going the right way. This is our website. You can get a link to the book right here. You can get a link to our contracts. These are the same contracts that I use to buy over $3 million of single family homes right here at the top, as well as links to Fund and Grow, where you can get your business funded and how you can get these deals. Everybody and their brother and their brother's brother and their brother's friend is into real estate investing. Okay. There's a lot of, TV shows on now, and there's a lot of stuff on the internet where everybody thinks that they can be a real estate flipper and quit their job and live a life of freedom. You definitely can quit your job and become a full-time real estate investor. But guess what? Now you're a full-time real estate investor. Okay. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of luck. But what happened with this one, and I'm guaranteeing this, is that he said he bought this one from another investor for $140,000. Now, again, if you look at the top picture, this is not in bad shape at all. And it doesn't look like he went too crazy on the outside either. But what happened with this one, again, is that an investor came in. Let's look at a few of the pictures. You know, there's the old kitchen. This is what he redid. Yeah, the kitchen is pretty outdated. It needs to be updated, especially if you're going to put it on the market. And yeah, redid the bedroom. That bedroom's really nice. The kitchen's really nice. The whole thing is just really nice. I might have to move to Texas. But I guarantee you what happened is that an investor came in. Either it's a wholesaler who got it under contract, or it's someone who wanted to flip the house. So they dropped a minimum of $140,000 on this place. And what happened is either their financing fell through to renovate the property, or so let's say it's a flipper that wanted to do it. Either their financing fell through, or their money fell through to actually flip the property, or they got themselves over their head. They paid too much for the house versus how much the repairs were actually going to cost, and they just ran out of money. So it looks like they maybe did some stuff on the outside, or maybe they got lucky on a motivated seller who wanted to get out of the place. They got them the money, but now they couldn't turn around and resell it for a profit. So what happens is if you buy properties like this, it turns into an alligator that's going to eat you alive. And this is where you guys step in and you save people from their issues, and you can make a tidy little sum just by flipping a contract. Okay. So that's what happened with this guy. He bought this from another investor. For whatever reason, the investor bought this property and then couldn't do anything with it. So maybe it was because the kitchens were outdated. They wanted to put it on the market, but you're never going to sell a house on the market that looks like this. It does need some updating, okay? But it doesn't need a ton of money. He said that completing the renovation took a couple of months and just cost a little over $35,000. So that's the prices we're talking about. This is a $35,000 remodel. And this is probably not everything that went into it. I mean, maybe it needed a new AC. Maybe he used the most expensive stuff. I don't know. But he definitely added some value to this property. He said he's listed the house for $265,000 and sold slightly over ask, resulting in a huge profit of about $90,000 after deducting his original $175,000 investment. So this is what's out there. There are guys out here like Crenshaw. He is willing to buy these deals from you because he can make margin on the outside as long as you know how to negotiate your numbers. If you stay tuned to this channel, if you subscribe, I'm going to tell you exactly through this podcast how you can get your numbers right. Also in my book, We Buy Houses Cash, you can go on Amazon and get that. I break down exactly how to get your numbers right when you're negotiating with sellers and with buyers. Okay, it's all in there. Exactly how I did it and how exactly I bought over $3 million worth of single family homes. So that's it. These are out there. Crenshaw, the guy right here, he's the man that you're going to be looking at selling to, okay? Because he wants to flip properties and make a profit, and he doesn't really care how much money you're making as long as you're not raking him over the coals, because he's going to make more money on the other end because he wants to flip properties. And I guarantee you he wants to stay busy because he does not want to go get a real job just like everybody else. He wants to flip properties and have the time of his life, and more power to him. More power to him. Okay, now the second part. You youngsters out there on the internet, all right? I'm not talking to all of you. I mean, I get it. I am very, very sympathetic with your plight. You're saddled with debt. Interest rates are through the roof. And you're right. The boomer generation has completely spent us all into oblivion. Our grandchildren's grandchildren are going to be paying off the debt from all the money we're printing off and sending off to other countries, but that's for another time. But there's a lot of griping that's going on right now that no one can get a house. I can't get a house. I can't get a house. I can't afford a house. I can't afford this and that. Yes, you can. I'm telling you right now, yes, you absolutely can. But you have to stop looking at it. You have to stop thinking inside the box. You got to start thinking outside the box and looking for off-market deals. Stop going to real estate agents unless you're looking specifically for these properties. Stop going to the bank. And looking for a massive loan on a brand new build house that's move-in ready. That's not you, okay? You just have to understand the situation that you're in. If you want to buy a house, you can buy off-market deals like this for an extremely affordable price, all right? And I'm telling you right now, let's look at this one as an example. He bought this one for $140,000, okay? Here is how you can buy a house, even in today's market, okay, even with high interest rates, and you can afford it. I'm telling you right now, you can afford this. Even at 8% interest rates, you can afford $140,000 on a house. And it'll be the best investment you've ever made, especially if you're in your early 20s, you just graduated from college, or whatever the situation may be. It's not going to be perfect, but over time, you can make it perfect, okay? So what you need to do is you need to go find your own off-market deals. Use all the same tactics that we use in wholesaling and real estate investing, and just do it for yourself. Go find off-market deals. Go find motivated sellers. Go find people that have equity in their properties, and go find people who are motivated to sell, whatever that case may be. And we'll talk more about what motivations are. And again, in my book, I talk about all the top motivations for sellers that want to sell their houses for cash and when they want to get it quick. So Crenshaw bought this house off of another investor for $140,000. All you have to do is find that investor. Find someone who's gotten neck deep in a property and they can't fix it up, but it's livable, okay? And all the guy wants is out of it. Just give me 140 grand and it's yours. I'm washing my hands of it. So if you go to a bank or a credit union or whoever, and you say, hey, look, you show them all the pictures, this and that. Hey, this is the property. Look, this guy's asking $140,000 for this place. The ARV, the after repair value, or the full value of it after it's all fixed up and ready for market, is $265,000. What the bank is going to do is they're going to look at the property and go, okay, what is this? And they're going to look through the pictures. They'll probably have someone come by and take everything, and they're going to do an evaluation on it. And they're going to look at the fact that it's like, okay, the driveway is good, the grass is good, the front of the house is good, the roof looks good. Okay, I mean, maybe there's a few problems here and there. This is the back of the house. Everything looks intact. This looks very livable. This is a standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home. All right, the kitchen's a little outdated, but who cares about that? It's got a working stove. It's got a working sink. They're going to look at the bathrooms. The bathrooms probably look about the same, the bedrooms, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And they're going to come up with the same valuation that you are. Yeah, this is a $265,000 property that we can lend 140 grand on. And this person is going to live here and renovate it and make it even more valuable. That's a great loan. They're gonna make that loan. They're gonna make that mortgage for you any day of the week. They're gonna love it. Okay, so this is how you can do it, guys. If you young people out there who think you can't buy a house, you can absolutely buy a house, and then you can have time to not only will you have a place to live, but you're gonna have time to build your credit, build your finances, and then you can slowly renovate it over time. So if you want to get out of it, I mean, let's say 2 years, okay, you can sell it after 2 years, and then you can walk away tax-free with a $90,000 payday because you renovated the house over 2 years. So there it is, guys. Wholesalers out there, real estate investors, I could not recommend a better article to show you exactly how this is done. And if you don't want to do all the hard work of actually renovating houses, then you need to be a wholesaler. You need to flip the contract. You need to find these properties. You need to find these motivated sellers and get these houses under contract, and then find guys like John Crenshaw here, and he will buy the property from you. You'll make a tidy little sum on your contract, and then he will take the house over and he will flip it and he will make money on that. Everybody's happy. Everybody wins. Do you want to get into real estate investing? Do you want to start wholesaling, but you don't know where to start? You don't have any money, and you don't even have a contract. On Amazon, you can buy my book, We Buy Houses Cash, the inside story of a wholesale real estate investor buying homes with no money down. This is the book that I wrote that gives you the A to Z nuts and bolts about wholesale real estate investing, as well as stories from live negotiations that I did that were a success and a few of them that went horribly wrong, so you can learn the right way to do wholesale real estate. Available on Amazon. Are you short on money to fund your business? On this video and the link below, you can get to Fund and Grow, where they will give you the money to fund your business so you can actually get the leads that you need to start qualifying good sellers so you can get good deals in the front door and start making money and get your business going the right way. This is our website. You can get a link to the book right here. You can get a link to our contracts. These are the same contracts that I use to buy over $3 million of single family homes right here at the top, as well as links to Fund and Grow, where you can get your business funded.